Buju, Babami Benes Indigenous Cause, Jason Dropik Indigenous Cause, Minawaki and Dunjaban Anishinaabe and Dao, Magazine Dudem. Just wanted to greet you in Ojibwe language. My name is Jason Dropik. I am currently the head of school at the Indian Community School. I got to greet you in Ojibwe, which is one of the languages that we teach here from the Ojibwe Nation, and I'm a member of the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. The way that our school is set up, our families come from many different communities. They come from many different areas. So we are not a neighborhood school, but we do have a commonality to our experience, and that we can all relate back to American Indian culture and traditions, and that connection to community and family. That's really part of our teachings is something that FAST just naturally does as well. Really stresses the importance of how to best have strong families and strong school partnerships, because we all want the same thing. We want students to be successful. We want them to be able to um, know that they're supported and loved and cared for. We want our families to know that we're in it with them and we can't do this alone. And we really appreciate all that they do and the trust that they give us to work with their students. So that partnership between families and other families, as well as the families in the school, is something that has really been important to ICS, and I've appreciated. For me personally, being able to be with and see families engaged together in the school community after school hours has really it fills you up. It can be challenging working in education and working with the many different decisions that have to be made on a daily basis. So when I get the opportunity to visit with families and to see them engaged in programming and see their smiles, see them connecting both with each other and their immediate families, as well as other families, as well as the school, getting to know them a little bit better, seeing them, being able to serve them meals and provide them those opportunities, as well as congratulate them on their accomplishments at the end, is something that it really deepens our relationship, allows me to be able to celebrate when we are having victories and triumph and successes in different ways, as well as have conversations when we need to continue to grow together, whether that's me or the family or the students. Really helps us to understand each other better so that we can have those conversations. In many ways, schooling has not always, especially historically, been a place where our families have felt super supportive. American Indian culture has had a history of pretty traumatic events and historically not necessarily great experiences, whether it was boarding schools or different situations in communities where they weren't allowed to practice their traditions or their language. So that disconnect between some of our families, both historically as well as current day contemporary experiences that many of our families had in school, where they weren't always supported in a way to acknowledge who they are, to be able to express that in ways that are comfortable. So for our families to be able to gather together to build those connections in school, see school as really an extension of their family and a connection, is something that I have seen break down barriers for families that would typically be resistant towards school events or not wanting to necessarily participate. FAST has eliminated those obstacles. They've created that partnership and that understanding, a sense of empathy and appreciation that, without it, I don't know that we would have it to the same level. So we've been able to connect with other tribal communities in the state in regards to ways that FAST supports what we believe and what we hold to be really important in education and in general community, and share with those communities what that looks like, so that they can bring it to the people that they serve. The COVID pandemic has really created some barriers and obstacles and ways to separate families. We continue to stay connected, and we know that engagement and family participation is going to be something that we're really going to have to continue to be dedicated towards. We're thankful, in our community and other communities are seeing that and asking, how are you staying connected in these challenging times when it's really hard to be connected? Everything's, virtual, or we can't gather together. So being able to share our journey and how we've been able to do that, even in virtual settings, even in times when school or a city might get shut down, but still being able to reach out and rely on each other, has been something that other communities are noticing, and so they're asking, how are you doing that? So we're thankful for the opportunity to be able to share some of the things that we've learned and been able to do.